Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is a wet, cloudy, rainy day, which is awesome. I've been waiting for this for a long time. And as you guys will notice, we've got the Hammock Drummer 5.0. I like to call it the Hurricane Hammock. So if you guys did not catch that episode about a year and a half ago, Boomer and I took this hammock out in a full-fledged hurricane right on the edge of the ocean for a direct hit on Cape Breton Island. And yes, it was planned. Stupid or not, I loved it. We both loved it, had a great time. I have not been out in the hammock since then, to my knowledge. I may have to look back on some of the videos to double check that, but we're back out in the Hurricane Hammock. So if you guys did not catch that episode, I'll put it down below in a pinned comment in the comment section, so you guys can head on over and check out that episode. So today, like I said, it's wet, it's rainy, we're socked in the forest here, been hiking through the trees, luckily staying out of most of the rain for the day. But it seems like where we chose to camp, it is actually coming through the canopy of the trees, which is no problem with this giant tarp. So now that we got everything set up, sleeping pad, sleeping bag, hammock, tarp, it's time for a hot coffee. So let's get after that. All right guys, so very quickly, got a cup of hot coffee on the go right now. I chose to bring the canister stove today just for simplicity. Spark it up, get a hot pot really quick because I knew I was going to be wet and cold. It is rather warm out today, but the dampness is going to set in later on. It is still getting quite chilly at nighttime. The days are warm, but that's not going to fool me. So I do have a negative 18 degree downfill sleeping bag. I'm not going to need that much. So what I'm going to do is unzip it and use it as a top quilt. But for now, it is taking up a ton of hammock space. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because the hammock actually turns into a chair. So it can go in a chair mode. I do have a stuff sack around here somewheres that I could put the sleeping bag inside of just to push it off to the side. So I think it'll fit in this mesh bag that the tarp was in. I'm going to cram it in here. If it fits, great. And then that way it'll stay nice and dry for later on this evening. And I'll be able to turn this into chair mode, jump up inside the hammock right now, kick back and enjoy some coffee. All right, so sleeping bag inside of this mesh bag, which is great because this will actually work as a pillow. Slide that up into the far end. So it is tricky to get in this hammock with a cup of coffee. It's actually really difficult. How I do it is I usually spill a little bit. So this sleeping bag is going to constantly roll down here. The tricky part with this hammock is to get it level. So this hammock hangs tree to tree and you face forwards instead of facing with the tree. So what that means is the straps that go to the trees, they need to be level. Otherwise, if the hammock's unlevel, you're going to slide to one side of the hammock. The head and foot end are basically governed by where you place your body. So if you want to be really tipped back, you just scoot your butt up, and we're talking like an inch. You move an inch on that little fulcrum point and it'll slowly tip the hammock. It's really great because you can lay on your stomach totally flat, lay on your side. I remember back when that hurricane hit, I was on my stomach, I was on my side, I was on my back. It was like I was on a fishing boat. It worked really, really great. So I'm going to level this out really quickly with this out of it. It actually looks really good. I'm actually going to leave it. I'm going to leave it for now, and we'll see how things go later on. But like I was saying, getting inside of this with a cup of coffee is really difficult. So I'm going to try my best to scooch in. I'm just going to adjust some of these straps right now to get it into chair mode. That way when I jump in, I can kind of hold my coffee off to the side and climb in. All right, so the method for getting in here with a cup of coffee is quite ridiculous. So ridiculous that I don't even want to film it, to be totally honest. Oh, bud. Oh, bud. I think we need to go up a little bit, eh? This isn't a hammock, this is now a ground tent. So I take back what I was saying, getting inside of it with a cup of coffee is real slick, bud. No, for real though, let's lift this up and get hanging like a hammock. All right, bear with me. Keep in mind, I haven't used this in a long time. That's gonna be my excuse. So luckily the hammock's very quick to just cinch these straps up. Hammock goes up. But as I was saying earlier, we need to make sure it's level. So I'm just gonna crank on this a little bit. So it seems a little bit higher now. Let me get in and test run it without the coffee. Oh yeah, bud. Okay. Whew. So I know you guys can't see me, but you can see the hammock. We're pretty flat. This is super comfortable actually. I'm leaning to one side, so I do need to level it, but this is going to be comfortable. All right, so I've got the hammock hung a little bit higher, sitting really good now. I've got a stick there propping open the tarp just for a little awning. Should be able to get in there now without any problem. I say that now I'm already having a problem. Sleeping bag. So this ideally is how it hangs. Obviously not that high off the ground. Once my body gets in there, it will drop down a little bit, but I'm going to jump in, get this situated in a chair mode, and I'll have a beautiful view of the forest right here. All right, so chilling out in the hammock right now. a little bit of work to get it to this point. I haven't used this in a long time, but it is definitely very, very comfortable. The mosquitoes are out in full force, and that kind of is a bonus with this hammock style. Zipping the net enclosure all the way down encompasses me in this hammock bug net system that the net's not really coming in on me. It is right now because I'm in chair mode, but once it lays down or zips all the way shut, the bug net goes really tight, making this a really great system. The bugs are out like crazy right now. This hammock has 2 gear lofts up top, and I do have a full review of this hammock on my channel. I'll try and put the link down in the description as well if you guys are interested. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because I brought this in mind that there were going to be bugs out. So if I do have really bad bugs come morning time, I can actually sit just like this inside the hammock with my cutting board, my pot, my canister stove, and I can actually make coffee in the hammock by grabbing all my gear that's stored up in here and this little storage bag here. And I've done it in the winter time, woken up in like -15, snow blowing all over the place, unzipped this, chilled out right here in my sleeping bag with the cutting board, making coffee and enjoying it without ever stepping foot outside of the hammock, which is pretty awesome. So that's my idea anyways. But I think what I'm going to do right now is finish up my coffee, chill out for a little bit. We got a nice breeze coming through, and the rain is coming in and out, so it's kind of on and off. It's forecasted to rain all night, but I bet I can get a fire going no problem. And if the rain holds off, there is a fire pit just a few feet outside of my tarp. I'd really like to have a small campfire. So cheers guys, gonna finish up this coffee and then probably get started on some firewood prep. Alright guys, with this rain downpouring off and on, I'm kind of second guessing my fire plan. I just don't think it's going to be worth the time to light a fire over there and basically hide out underneath of the tarp. 2 reasons why I wanted the fire. 1, awesome aesthetics. Camping, campfire go hand in hand. And 2, get rid of all these bugs. But as the rain keeps coming down pretty hard off and on, the bugs are actually disappearing, the mosquitoes mainly. So I don't know, I'm going to see how it goes over the next hour or 2. It is getting a little bit later, so it is going to start getting dark, and I do have to get started on supper shortly. So I've got my pot positioned down here, catching all this dripping rain coming off the tarp when the wind's not blowing. Like right now, it's kind of in and out of the pot. There is a lake off in the distance too, so I could collect water out of there if I do run out. I brought 1.5 liters. So I'm off on this bottle right now. I've got about half of this, and I got another small bottle in my backpack. Knowing it was going to rain, not a big deal. Definitely plenty of water. So I think what I'm going to do is probably just kick around here for a few more minutes and see what's going to happen. The wind is going to pick up too, which is kind of a bad part with the fire. If those embers get blown over here, I don't want it melting my gear, so that's another bummer. So I just don't know if it's going to be worth it. But I do know I have to start on supper soon. And I want to get all this stuff cleaned up before nightfall, especially if it's going to be wet. I like to get everything tucked underneath of the hammock. And then I'm going to take my rain jacket and drape it over top to help keep everything nice and dry overnight. That way if the winds do pick up, nothing goes blowing out from underneath of the hammock. So well, I have to sit here and just see what happens for the next couple minutes, guys. All right, guys, supper is ready. What I've got is some fusilli garlic pasta with some cheddar and a couple of these wraps. And that is basically it. I have other snacks to eat, non-cookable food up in the hammock for later on this evening when it gets really wet and nasty out. And I chose to bring a super simple, easy to cook meal just in case the weather and the rain was really bad. The temperature is not terrible. It's actually just barely sweater kind of bearable weather, but I can feel the dampness starting to kick in. I've got a lot of coverage with this tarp. The front is wide open now. If the wind changes and the wind really starts to blow into here, I can drop that down and move in towards the center. And the beautiful thing about this system is I can just go underneath of the hammock. And there has been times where I've been out camping with this and it's rained so hard that I've actually decided to take the hammock down and ball it up off to the side or sit on top of it and open up the tarp space. So it's not really terrible right now. I'll leave it just the way it is. But time to dig in, guys. All right, guys, it's that time of the evening now. I decided to actually go ahead and light the fire. I did not collect any firewood though, and I should probably mention that this is a regular spot that I do enjoy hiking to. And I camped here probably about a month ago. I can't remember, I think I brought a hot tent. Or no, just a regular tent. And this is the leftover wood from basically when I cut and split and batoned it down in that video. It was just laying here. It's damp on the outside, but it's dry enough on the inside to burn. So I figure why not give it a go and get these bugs smoked out of here, because the mosquitoes are starting to get a little bad. We've got a window of break in between rain, so I can feel the rain coming in really fine mist right now. It was pouring probably about 15 minutes ago. It stopped and I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a go, get it in there. Enough to get some smoke billowing, enjoy a cold one, and just kind of enjoy this early summer, kind of late spring camp out, I should say. I just did a 3-day camper van adventure on Cape Breton Island, so if you guys are interested in checking that out, I actually uploaded it on my other YouTube channel, Outdoor Adventures. The link is always down in the video description. So head on over and check that out. Epic, epic road trip. I got something in the works. I'm not going to touch on it right now, but I do have something major in the works as far as how I'm actually going to be delivering my videos going forward in the future, long term. And yeah, I think you guys should go over and check out that video on the other channel. It's definitely worth checking out, and I think you guys will kind of get the hint of where things are going. Lone Wolf 902 will not change. It will always be the same, so don't panic. Lone Wolf 902 will continue pumping out weekly episodes of doing this in this fashion. But the other channel is going to take a little bit of a turn, and yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. So, I've been enjoying life lately, getting out, seeing new things, doing new things, experiencing new experiences, and I'm really, really digging it. I'm really liking it, and I really want to capitalize on that. So, yeah, like I said, I'm just going to leave it at that. So the hammock is set up. It is lit up right now. I've got the bug net wide open. The rain is starting to come in again, like I was just saying. So this smoke is actually getting all of these bugs out of here. And I don't have a whole lot of wood. I've got a couple pieces here and there, but I do want to keep the fire somewhat controlled. Even though it's wet and it's raining, I don't want these embers going towards my hammock. So if we could try and keep it low and controlled, that'd be great. But the inside of that hammock right now is looking mighty comfortable, guys. I've got beef jerky in there. I've got a couple snacks. I've got a movie saved on my phone from Netflix that I do want to dive into. And just kick back and relax and hopefully enjoy some rain. I would really like to wake up with a rainy, misty morning tomorrow. That would be awesome. So this is going to be the evening right here until I jump inside the hammock. I just really want to enjoy this, and enjoy all of this right now before it's dark. So let's kick back and enjoy the campfire. Good morning, everybody. It is a silent, beautiful, green, absolute naturescape morning today. The bugs are out. It did rain last night. The wind did pick up. We stayed totally nice and dry and warm up inside that hammock. Boomer was loving it. Early this morning, he jumped out, took off, ran around, did his own thing. I did my thing, make up a nice cup of hot coffee, and listen to this. Silence. The only thing I can hear are birds and mosquitoes. So that means we've got to get packed up in a hurry before these bugs come out, because it is wet, it is moist out here, and these mosquitoes are going to get very, very bad. Alright guys, while I'm packing my hammock up, I will mention a few things. One, I did not bring a stuff sack for my sleeping bag, as I never do, just because I like the way the bag lofts up to fill the backpack. The downfill will help give that bag form. That is a 40 to 60 liter roll top bag, so I can pack it down to 40 or up to 60. So I just roll it nice and snug. The backpack always has a nice firm shape to it, so it just worked really well. So with this particular hammock, it packs up extremely small. So all I've got to do is deflate the pad, pull that out, and drop the hammock, fold that up, jam it in the bag. Now the outer skin of this is a little bit wet, and the top layer of this is damp from getting in and out of the hammock. So I'm actually going to leave the air pad in the hammock sleeve and pack it all in my bag as one. So how I do this is make sure everything's out of the hammock, snacks, all that kind of stuff. So I've got a microphone cover, and I've got this mesh bag here for the tarp. That's important because the tarp is going to be wet. So I have the pole kit for my hammock. These little poles just pop out like that. I'll grab the one out of the head end. And so with these two tiny little poles, I'm going to pop those in my backpack so I know where they are, as I don't want them in the hammock because the hammock's going to get balled up and those poles could get damaged. So just make sure everything's out of the hammock, except for the stuff sack for the hammock and the stuff sack for the sleeping pad, which is in the hammock. Zip this shut, and the benefit of this is it packs very, very small in the backpack. It is very, very warm when you put a winter pad in there. This right now I have the 3-season pad. I could put the 4-season pad in there and go camping in the wintertime. No wonder quilt. It hangs the same way. I can sit up, I can, lay down, flatten it, and all that good stuff. But the bonus is I could drop it down, disconnect these quick toggles. But the way this hammock works, my rain jacket off of here, and I've got the entire hammock on the ground, which means, like I was saying earlier, I could sit on the ground and I could do all my pack up right here like I've done so many times before in the rain. And when I'm done with that, because the fabric is strong enough to withstand being pulled and pushed on the ground. When I'm done with that, all I do is unzip, reach in here to the valve system, and just push all the air out. And I can literally roll the hammock up as I'm deflating the pad. So this makes it really easy with this particular hammock system. And I'll just roll this up as if I'm rolling up the camouflage sleeping pad. And so personally, what this allows me to do is break camp very quickly, as I am heading home today. And I'll be able to hang this up inside when I get home to dry the pad and the hammock out all in one go. The other bonus to this is, if you really wanted to jam it down small, which I'm not going for right now, I actually want to fill the backpack. If I'm going to another camp tonight, I could just drag this out of my bag, hang it, and inflate, and the pad would already be in there. I could even leave my down sleeping bag in the hammock, jam the hammock in there. That way when I do get to camp, all I got to do is pitch the tarp, throw the straps up, and then hang the hammock, and everything's already in there. You just need to inflate the pad, and it's really simple that way. So that is all inside of there. So I'm just going to grab the zipper and zip it up and roll this. Squeeze out any excess air because the valve's still open, and then I just jam that in my backpack. So it's real simple, kind of unique on the market. It's been on the market for a long time, but this is a unique way of using it, or a unique way of looking at using it. So I've got two straps I got to get down. I'll grab that down, jam this in the backpack, and then we'll work on the tarp. Alright guys, we've got everything packed up inside the bag. Boomer's ready to go. He's getting eaten alive by these mosquitoes. So we're going to get moving here in a moment. I do have everything packed inside of here. My rain jacket on the outside because it is going to rain at some point. So I'll be able to quickly throw that on. Other than that, everything is ready to go. So the campfire's totally snuffed out. That was a treat last night. The sights and the sounds and the smell. I got to say, I was kind of on the fence about lighting it. I'm glad I did. That's all taken care of. Everything is in here, and I've got to get this on my back and get out of here. These bugs are starting to come out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and be sure to check all of the links down in the description and in the comment section with a lot of things that are going on, which I discussed in this video. So peace out guys, and I'll catch you in the next adventure.